You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet. Welcome. We're glad you're here. We're so glad you came. To another TADPOG podcast. Tyler and Dave, just playing old games. But this week, well, not this week, for every week for the last while and the foreseeable future, we're playing Super Nintendo games, old games. I'm your bearded host, Tyler.
Hey, Tyler.
Hey,
I'm
Dave.
your bespectacled host, Dave. So you're good with the Super Nintendo list.
Yeah. I feel like it's been a bit of a bummer lately, but I'm still good with it.
I'm really happy, honestly, with the episodes that we have produced recently.
Yeah.
But I will say that before the mics were even turned on, we had a long conversation about the Super Nintendo list.
Yeah.
Because there have been multiple times recently where I've walked in to record, and you've got the game up in front of you, and you're like, I don't know, man.
Because today I was just scrolling through the Super Nintendo list on my RetroPie and being like, yeah, I want to play that and that and that and that and that. We're not drawing. There's so many that I would love to try, but we're not getting any of these.
Well, look, I'm down to change it up.
So it just means the last few years are going to be really good.
Look, I'm down to change it up, man. Maybe we can do a thing where it's like we take the remaining because I'm committed to the Super Nintendo list. I mean, we talked about that. I'm all in on the Super Nintendo list, and I've actually been weirdly enjoying playing these mediocre Super Nintendo games.
Mediocre's also being generous.
But maybe we do a thing where it's like, each month, this is all off the cuff. We didn't talk about this beforehand, but each month you pick a Super Nintendo game, I pick a Super Nintendo game, and then the randomizer chooses 2 Super Nintendo games. Do you think that would be
We could do that, or if it's hard for any of us, just be like, call my tap out. I get to pick this time.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like that. So the randomizer chooses something that one of us really doesn't want to do.
Yeah, if we're done so many in a row, where it's just if we've done 2 sports games in a row, we get a third one. It's like, okay, I'm calling my tap out.
Okay.
I just want to pick one then.
Okay, and then what happens to the one that
sanity
we pick?
tap out? We do it the week after.
So it just gets bumped. It doesn't go back into the pool.
No.
Okay, all right.
No. We'll just push it back.
Well, we brought Sandwich Pope Phil on to help us decide on what to do with the future of this podcast. Hey, Phil.
Hi. I think give it all up and go for the N64.
Oh.
It's a much smaller
so you want the
list
show
of
to end? Okay.
Oh, you hate the show. I see.
I'm Phil, and I've come to destroy your show.
I just like suffering. That's all. No, I was raised on the Super Nintendo. This is the retro console that I'm most familiar with, so I'm all on board with doing every single one of these games, even if it drives you both absolutely insane. So I appreciate the dedication.
We get closer to insanity every week.
Yep.
Edging, and you just need to back off every now and then with a nice good game to look forward to. I am afraid that if you implement a system like that you'll use up all the remaining half-decent games left, and then it will be an absolute slog at the final 5 years.
That is a good point. That is a really good point.
It is.
What about... Okay, what
it's
if...
something not on the Super Nintendo list, then?
Maybe.
I'm excited.
We
get to pick a comfort game. I get a dessert game, and it could be whatever from wherever.
I'm excited to be part of this record-setting effort to create the single longest non-continuous Hades podcast, so...
Yeah, that is kind of the other thing where it's like we're already looking at what? How long to finish the Super Nintendo list? 10 years?
It's
9
long.
years?
It's
something
a lot.
that?
I mean, you consolidate a lot of the sports games together, so
Right.
that helps immensely because every single sport has something like 20 plus different entries into it. So if you can take all the Maddens all the NHL hockeys and boil them down to one game. That's going to cut it down significantly.
For sure.
Mm.
Yeah, and maybe it needs to be like, so we don't use up so many. Maybe it has to be like the nuke keys, where like you and I both have to agree to turn the key, and,
Okay.
and that's the only way we can tap out.
Okay.
Which means you're really gonna hate me a lot of times.
If I can sweat through the AC, I can deal with that.
Yeah, it's true. I'm the worst friend. I'm sorry.
You're not. You're the best friend.
But it would be like Bassmasters Classic. Nope, not turning that key.
No, this was one of Phil's calls, so there was no way I
Yeah.
was bailing on this one. But when you said that, I was like, yeah, Phil needs to be on the show.
Yeah, Phil, we're talking about Bassmasters Classic.
We do this show for you and Alex Pena, really.
I appreciate it. It's quite the effort to appease two people.
Two people. Yeah, tell me about it. I have a hard time appeasing one person. Whackety schmackety.
But no, this was a game that I've kind of put on the list. One, because I have a history of it, but also because when you guys are kind of looking at your list of games, and this was even long before we got to the randomizer, you'd have friends or listeners kind of put their stamp on, oh, Final Fantasy III is coming up, I want to be on that episode, or Chrono Trigger's coming up, I want to be on that episode. So I wanted to scope out games that I had a pretty good idea no one else would be interested in coming on and talking about. And I happen to have a little bit of history with a couple of the better bass fishing games on the Super Nintendo. This being what I consider to be the second best. I've only played two, and this is the worst of the two, so we'll see what the rest has in store for you, but I think this kind of holds up.
We
Kind of.
definitely tried to consolidate these bass fishing games because you and I had a conversation, Phil, because like
Bassin's Black Bass better be fucking different, Phil. Better be like so fucking different. It better be a cinematic platformer.
where you're a fish.
Yeah.
You could conceivably, I think, do Bassin's Black Bass, which is my favorite, with all the other fishing games. The reason why this one in particular, Bassmasters Classic, is different is it's the only one that has that in the water point of
Fish
view
cam.
behind the lure fish cam. So I thought it warranted its own separate episode.
I'm good with that. I
Yeah.
mean, because really we're covering two games in this episode, so we get to consolidate a little bit
Yeah.
Mhm.
because we're talking about Bassmasters Classic and Bassmasters Classic Pro Edition. They're extremely different.
Very.
They're not.
I'm surprised
Before we get to
because,
that-
oh yeah, let's
Go ahead, Phil.
No. We can get to that later when there's actual game talk. This show isn't known for its game talk that early in the episode, so
So we talked about that prior to turning the mic on the mics too.
So, Phil, you messaged me saying you had some hard thought addendums to the NBA Hades Jordan list.
I did. I've always been an NBA fan, and I've been playing the hell out of Hades to the point where I'm thinking about kind of setting the controller down and calling it good. I doubt I'm
Yeah,
going
I'm
to be
there
playing
too.
it in March, so we'll see. But you left a few characters off of your NBA Hades list that I wanted to help you fill in. For listeners who are not
Quote unquote, fill in.
Yes. And you had this was last episode, right? The previous episode before this, for listeners who are hearing this for the first time and wondering what the hell
I
we're
think
talking
so.
about.
Might have been last episode or the one before. Maybe it was the one before.
I don't think it was Jurassic Park 2, The Chaos Continues. I think
Yeah.
it was the one before that.
Okay. So you had left off 3 characters from your comparison list, and
Yes.
I wanted to help
This is
fill
the
them.
Hades to NBA
Yeah.
parallel.
Right. The first of which I think is the easiest. So Hypnos, you left off. There was a basketball player literally named Sleepy Floyd who played from 1982 to 1995. He was good, but not great. Relatively unknown. Kind of fits the Hypnos character pretty
All right,
well. So I
that's
think
good.
that one kind of writes itself.
He always pointed it out when someone like on his team failed.
Loved lists. Loved lists.
Love lists. Yeah. Love drawing in the margins. Love the playbooks. Do they have those for basketball?
I'm sure they do.
Okay.
I only see coaches using whiteboards, but I'm sure they keep actual books with plays in them.
Okay. The sacred texts.
Yeah. Persephone was the other one you had left off. And that made me think. So you had Jordan being the Hades parallel. So I'm wondering who is kind of the contemporary to Jordan, kind of the yin to his yang. And I thought maybe you can kind of help out on this, but I thought Dominique Wilkins was a pretty good kind of player similar to Jordan who challenged Jordan. So I thought that was a pretty good Persephone.
I can roll with that.
You can roll with that. I also had
Who did you want to replace Asterius with? Because you didn't think Clyde Drexler was a good enough challenge to LeBron and Jordan.
No, Drexler got his ass handed to him by Jordan, and it sucks because I'm a Blazers fan, but it happened. So I think, and Theseus I think is my favorite character in the game. I love the voice.
Jesus Christ, you monster!
I love the voice actor. I love his personality. I've run out of unique things for him to say, but I really, really enjoyed coming into the third boss fight and hearing this bombastic
Don't
guy.
let him split us up, Asterius.
And so I thought Gary Payton, legendary shit talker, would be a perfect Theseus, if only for that, but also paired with Sean Kemp.
Sean Kemp, I was about to say that.
Was an absolute beast of a player in his prime before he was traded to Cleveland, in which he gained 80 pounds in about a season and a half and became a much more beast-like character.
And then busted out his knees very quickly.
Then got traded to Portland and then was out of the league in 2 years. So I did find out that, according to Wikipedia, he opened a marijuana dispensary in Seattle last October called Sean Kemp's Cannabis. And he sells pot cookies that are made by Gary Payton. So they still have a connection to this day.
Wow. Man, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn neat.
Why can't John Stockton and Karl Malone also do something together? I want a Malone Stockton cookie.
Tyler can attest I was zoned out for the majority of that conversation.
Pot cookies.
Dispensary, what?
I like those, Phil. I will take what you've said and what Deuce's posting has also said, and I will refine my list and post it.
Did you put Athena on that list? I don't think I saw Athena on there.
Oh, shit.
In which case, I would recommend David Robinson, who is a lieutenant.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Defense, he's a lieutenant. Yeah. No, I thought David Robinson would be a good one.
That's phenomenal.
The Trojan War was started over him.
It was true, yes.
Yep. Who has the best mustache in basketball?
I learned something from that episode that you put on, though, because I did not know that Pete Maravich died as young as he did, which was kind of interesting. I guess
I educated you about sports.
He died in a church pickup game when he was like 40 years old, and it turns out he had a heart defect that was never caught. So, yeah, that was interesting. In your post to the Hades Deuce posting, did anyone mention Reggie Lewis at all?
No.
So
everybody was mostly pissed that Dennis Robinson was not, or I'm sorry, Dennis Robinson, Dennis Rodman was not Dionysus.
Yeah, I didn't want to come in here and critique your list because everyone's going to have their own.
Because
thoughts.
You already did that on Discord to me. I understand.
Did, but that's important because you picked someone based on false information, which I think needs to be fixed because you had Knicks as the LeVar Ball comparison, because when you search Google for who founded or who created the NBA, it gives you LeVar Ball, which is incorrect, or at least there's a story in which it says that.
It was Lucille Ball,
which is
all along.
which is hilarious because LeVar Ball is like 50 years old and the NBA predates him by about 30 years. He's like, LeVar Ball he kind of came into prominence about 5 years ago. He is very much has a Trump-like personality where he is super bombastic and loud and tries to make headlines by saying as much ridiculous stuff as possible just to get on TV and radio.
We found Theseus.
So, yeah, no. The fact that you could totally see saying that he created the NBA. He's gone on record saying that he would kill Michael Jordan in his day. And they're the same age.
Wow.
They're literally the same age. Actually, I'm not sure if they are literally the same age, but he's said that his son, who plays for New Orleans, will be better than LeBron, will be better than Magic Johnson. He says that his other, gosh, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of crap. He just kind of spouts out the mouth to try and create headlines. So. No, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this.
But who did create the NBA? Who can I correct that to?
I don't know. When I looked that up, I saw just James Naismith. So I don't know if James Naismith created basketball and the NBA, or if he just created, I don't know what. But I thought Nyx would be. So Nyx is the steward. Kind of, she's the one who takes care of the House of Hades. That's very similar to an NBA commissioner, so I thought David Stern would be a good contemporary, a good parallel for Nyx.
I'm down. I really liked him in Home Alone.
Right.
Yeah.
His brother.
That took me a minute.
Man, Daniel Stern died not too long ago, didn't he?
Did he?
Did he not die?
Screech died. Did you hear
I know,
Dustin Diamond died?
I heard that he died. I'm going to look that up. Maybe he just looks like he died.
You're one of those people who look like you died.
You put the death curse on him.
No, fuck. No. I take it all back. I do. I take it all back. No, he's fine. No, Dennis Stern's fine. I don't know why I thought he had died. No, he's good. Sorry.
No, but I will definitely, I will post this to the nation and to do some posting.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to circle back on something. So I had mentioned Reggie Lewis, because you had Len Bias being one of the Achilles Patroclus pair.
Yep.
So you had mentioned he was picked second in the draft in 1986. Did a bunch of cocaine to celebrate, died, and it was a huge deal. Not only because of the circumstances in general, but because he was an extremely talented player who was going to be, he was going to join the world champion Boston Celtics, who had just won that year and had gotten this number 2 pick because of a trade. And so he was going to join Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and everyone. The next year, the Celtics draft Reggie Lewis, who spends a few years as a backup and kind of earns a star role in the early 90s due to injuries. Becomes an all-star in 1992, and then at the age of 27 collapses in the 1993 playoffs, is diagnosed with a heart defect and told his career was over, but then got a second opinion that diagnosed him with a less serious condition. He begins working out, and 3 months later, after he initially collapsed, he died of a heart attack in the offseason.
Shit.
Yikes.
Malpractice. Man, that's ugh.
So, I don't know where I'm going with that, but NBA trivia for those of you out there who enjoy that sort of thing.
So maybe is Pistol Pete too old, so that it should be Len Bias and Reggie Lewis are closer in age to be Achilles and Patroclus? Would they be lovers if they knew each other? Most importantly,
I think so. The fact that they both were drafted by the same team and both died on the same team.
Okay, very good. That's good. I'm with you. All right. I guess I should ask actual sports people instead of just using the knowledge I gained from twisting the tops off Gatorade bottles with Brandon and occasionally watching an NBA game at my aunt and uncle's house. But I also want to, because I've got going through my notes here, I want to thank Doug DeLucky, because after I'd mentioned, man, I would love to one day get a hard copy of Rogue Legacy, because I love Rogue Legacy. Rogue Legacy is up there with Hades for me for one of my favorite games ever. And he messaged me, he's like, hey, I got one. You can have it. I was like, well, let me pay you for it. Nope, here you go. And just mailed it to me. Like, in the plastic, everything. Brand new fucking copy.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
That's
Thank you
awesome.
so much.
I want to thank, I got somebody I want to thank. I want to thank Dane. Dane has uploaded a bunch of our back episodes to YouTube. If you've subscribed to our YouTube channel, you have seen a lot of episodes go up recently, and that is because after listening to our last episode where we were like really trying to come up with ideas for like where to store our whole backlog, Dane was like, I think I can handle that for you guys. He's got experience doing it. And I was like, all right, let her rip, go for it. And he's already got a whole bunch of old episodes up. Like, I think he's got like at least 6 months up in the last week.
Wow.
So backlog banisher Dane.
Backlog banisher Dane. I'm good with that. Very good with that. So I wanted to thank Dane publicly for that. That is awesome. And if anybody is looking for back episodes of TADPOG, that is, the site is where you can get everything, but we're working, or Dane, I ain't doing shit. Dane is working. All I'm doing is telling Dane, thank you every time he messages me. Thank you, Dane.
That's amazing. Thank you.
So yes, we're shooting to get all that up there as well.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So Jacob is staying with Meg. So Kenna was there with Jacob while he was watching the Royal Rumble last night. So Kenna, of course, has never seen wrestling, is completely unfamiliar, sits down and starts watching the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And is fucking blown away by what she's
Oh, yeah,
seeing.
really?
Because I got a text like, Kenna has so many questions about the Royal Rumble. Why are they doing this? Is this appropriate for me? They're not wearing shirts.
Is this appropriate for me?
Yeah, so yeah.
Was it because they weren't wearing shirts that she was concerned?
Yeah, she was like, is this appropriate for me?
Because they're not wearing shirts.
Kenna, who's your favorite? Santa. Santana? Santa, whatever. And then at the end, what did you think of it? What did you think of the Royal Rumble? I love it. I've never been more impressed. That's all I got. What you guys been up to?
I finished Phantasmagoria 2. That was fun, but I'll never play it again. I'll be playing Star Fox Assault starting on Friday. So we'll do a Patreon episode on that coming up. I'm excited to play that one because I like Star Fox a lot. And that's the one that is like you're in ships and stuff. It's not the one where you're
back to classic shit.
Right, yeah. At least that's what I hear. I haven't played it yet. And then Earthworm Jim is the SNES game of the month on the TADPOG Discord.
Nice.
And I'm excited to like think about playing that game, but I'm always excited to think about playing these games that are nominated. And then like I played Kirby's Dream Course. It was last month's game. I played it with like full intentions of like completing it. And then it got hard and I was like, nah. I got 3 courses in. I finished like the 3rd course. I started the 4th one and I was like, I don't know what this tornado. I don't know how to do this tornado ability thing. I could ask Salnop, but I'm just not going to play the game.
When I started just like save stating every single putt, like it's just like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't.
And we got a package there.
Yeah, we do.
Ooh. From who?
A package from Mr. and Mrs. G.
The G's.
Yeah. First here. Oh. Tim's classic style potato chips, extra thick and crunchy, jalapeno flavored.
Tim's.
Oh, Tim's is good.
All right. We love you, Long Tim.
They sent you some good stuff.
Are those Eggos? What are those?
Oh, 11 from
they
Stranger
are-
Things.
Oh.
Home-style waffles. It's like the kind of the stuff you buy at like FYE. So this is very, very nice. I like that. And the letter, a note came out with it.
Man, something sounded heavy there. Is that the 11 homestyle waffles?
There's something in it, but I'm going to read this letter first. Tyler and Dave. These are two things from the Pacific Northwest. I found you can't get on the East Coast when I was in the Army. Also, I wanted to say thank you to Matt, aka Gentle G, has worked the same job for 15 years. You two and other podcasts alike, along with audiobooks, have helped him get through his job over the years. You two have become part of our family in an odd way. Supporting you guys supports us. It goes full circle. So, from our family to yours, Happy New Year. Sincerely, the G's. That's very sweet.
That is very sweet. Thank you.
What is inside?
Like Harry from Harry and the Hendersons, who becomes part of the family.
All right. So there's this a mock-up of the 11 of an Eggo waffle box, only it's Stranger Things themed. And inside is send to Chief Jim Hopper, Hawkins Police Station. And inside it, this other box is Johnny's seasoning salt.
Oh.
Do you guys not have Johnny's?
No, I've never seen this.
No.
Do you have Lowry seasoning salt?
We do.
They're fairly similar, I think.
Mike Lowry?
Do you have Lowry seasoning salt?
From Bad Boys?
We do have Mike Lowry's seasoning salt from Bad Boys.
It tastes like gunpowder.
So what Dave and I have done is we've talked about this earlier. We have several packages on backlog. We're going to go through all of them and compile all the food and then do one massive tasting video and put up on Patreon.
We're going to get sick.
We're going to get sick. We're going to have heat cramps and be sick.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee. It's just a prediction.
So as much as I would like to try these, I want to save them because I want you to see us be able to eat them.
Yeah.
But I love this Stranger Things stuff. Thank you so much.
I want to bust into those Tims. I'm looking forward to that.
Do you think they tried other brands before they settled on Eggo for Stranger Things?
Probably not. I don't think they did.
I mean, Reese's Pieces is only a thing in E.T. because Eminem shut them down. So Reese's Pieces is just what picked it up whenever Eminem said no.
Yeah, but you think they are going to go to Eggo first, right? Who else would they go to first?
Hot Pockets.
Name another. I can't name another company that makes frozen waffles. Walmart? I don't know. Great Value?
Yeah, we went to Great Value.
I'm sure Eggo probably has a competitor.
We went to Hydrox. It was gonna be sandwich cookies at first.
They probably have a competitor, but I can't name them.
Just like Band-Aid probably does too, but I don't know.
Yeah, bandage strips.
Do you like these adhesive strips?
Right. Who's the main competitor of Velcro? or Frisbee.
Mini latching hooks.
Right.
And company. Plastic plate.
I like to think that they went to Eggo with this idea. They're like, if they say no, we are fucked.
We have to do pancakes somewhere. We know like 11 other broadcast companies have shut us down, but Netflix said yes. Come on, Eggo.
This entire show is hinging on this waffle sponsorship.
God, I wish they'd stop waffling. All right, I'm out. It's been fun, guys.
That's how they got them. Please don't waffle in your decision. All right, damn it.
Game
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
Game, respect, game.
Phil, what about you? What have you been up to?
A number of things. I know last time I was on here was post vasectomy operation, but still within the healing period. And you had mentioned how you had never gotten tested afterwards to determine. And I kind of was incredulous at the idea, but now that it is 2 weeks after when I was supposed to bring them a sample, I'm beginning to kind of understand why you didn't take it in, or at least possibly why. Because the idea of ejaculating into a cup and then driving it to a clinic and handing over said sample to a woman behind the counter is an extremely uncomfortable series of events that I don't want to do.
And then to get a call, be like, that's dead goo.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Do you have an ugly man you could send to the counter, please, so I can give my sperm to?
Yeah, this looks like the stuff.
Probably like a man who, like, doesn't come a lot, so probably wouldn't, like, judge whatever size sample I gave.
Ma'am, who comes the least here? Could I give this to them?
Oh, you want old Gus?
Okay, I get that would still be you, but a man that comes to least.
I'm very fragile. Please, I need anything I can really cling on to at this point. That wasn't a joke. That was just a statement about me.
So I'm hoping to cross that off my to-do list this week, but I'm not holding my breath on it.
I'm with you. Because I'm just like not so. I also don't really know like if I'm supposed to call somebody first or do I just show up with it and hope they take it.
I think I'm going to call first because the last thing you want to do in that situation is make some sort of mistake and be like, you're not supposed to drop this off like this, and then you're sitting there embarrassed with a cup full of your own cum. I'm like, I don't know. I've never done this before.
Can you throw it out? No.
So I think I'll give him a call up and be like, all right, it's been 2 months, or no, I think it's less than that. It's been since December. It's been like 6 weeks. What do I need to do to drop this off? Do I just drop it off with you? Is there any sort of protocol? Because I do not want to make a mistake in this most uncomfortable of transactions we are about to make.
Just drizzle it in an envelope, write hospital on the side, and let it rip, man.
See, I'm also afraid I go in and they test. They're like, oh yeah, that's still full of swimmers.
They're like,
what?
Sir, you're pregnant.
I'm like, that's like, I've been playing Russian roulette and I've already pulled the trigger 5 times. Because I've been filling up my wife all willy-nilly. Well, you guys, I think it's time.
I believe you're right.
It is.
I sent you a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it when you read from the instruction manuals. The instruction manual does have an introduction to the game, but I honestly thought that the back of the box for Bassmasters Classic was more entertaining than the inside. Keep in mind that this is what was used to sell the game to people who were in the store considering a purchase.
Bassmasters Classic. Welcome, anglers. Welcome to Bassmasters Classic. Name's Hank.
It looks like Honk, doesn't it?
Name's Honk.
Name's Honk.
Think of me as your unofficial host. I'll tell you what you need to know.
Thanks, Box.
Unofficial host box. Hank.
No, I'm just buying my friend Hank.
You don't
here.
get much more bass-like than Hank.
Can I, Nikki, desperately does not want Henry to be called
Hank.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, if it happens, it happens. You can't control it. Don't even look. If you had a problem with it, you should have brought it up before we named him Henry.
It's like if you didn't want to be named Chris, I'll name him Christian. You never know.
That's right.
This tour consists of 5 3-day tournaments at 4 lakes. First one's at Pebble Lake.
Is that okay? I want to pause again. Phil, is Pebble Lake a real place? Does it have any kind of draw?
No. I'm sure there is a Pebble Lake that exists. It's such a generic name. There's probably many Pebble Lakes.
It just seems like a weird thing to include on the copy of
just first one's at Pebble
Pebble
Lake.
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
Fuck
man.
Yeah. Pebble Lake.
Fucking take this receipt up to this Toys R Us receipt up to the cash register. We are done, my man.
Finally. Sir, are you having a good day today? Yeah, I'm about to go fucking fish at Pebble Lake. How about you?
First one's at Pebble Lake. What is, sir? First one's at Pebble Lake.
Hank told me so.
You hold up the box.
The box.
Hank's the unofficial. First one's at Pebble Lake.
Sir, let's complete this transaction.
You'll see my bait shop there and get to know your way around the dock area.
I think he means dark area.
It still also looks like dark area. My name's Honk. Come to my dark area.
The font, by the way, is like one click better than Comic Sans.
But first, you'll need to take care of a few things. Check your gear because you're out to get the big one.
Like a heart attack?
This is it. Your big one. Capital B, capital O.
Like the Super Bowl?
That's the big game.
This is it. The World Championship. Good luck.
Thanks, Hank. But I guess I feel like if you're going to buy this game, you don't really... like. If you've already decided you're going to buy Bassmasters Classic, you're probably not going to read the back of the box.
I've played this game a lot. I've never seen a Hank come up in this game, ever.
Isn't he the guy in the bait shop in the game?
I never...
But you don't know his name? You just see bait shop?
Maybe there is. Maybe... Because there is an option to talk with the guy at the bait shop, which is different depending on which version of the game you have. They changed the bait shop owner up between vanilla version and pro version.
It didn't work out for Hank. Hank had to sell. Hank had to sell the shop to Ernie.
Ernie or Daryl or something else properly fitting. But Phil, you also sent the 6 characters you can be in Bassmasters. So I can also read those.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, the first one, Hooker Be Sharp. Hooker uses chemically sharpened hooks. So sharp it's dangerous to look at them.
Fuck, that's sharp, man. Holy shit. Oh, my God. Hooker makes booby traps out of fishing line and fishing hooks at eye level when he sleeps because he's crazy.
Crazy. That crazy Hooker. If a bass comes near his bait, it's stuck for good. If it can slice through eyeballs gazing at it, I think it would go through a fish jaw as well. It's too sharp. And chemically sharpened, like he boils acid to chemically sharpen his hooks.
It's dedication.
And the next one, Zoe Shelby, the most attractive angler, also the only girl, on the pro circuit.
Men can't be beautiful?
No, they can't be.
Yeah, fuck
what about
that.
Hank?
Charlie Chum is a looker. Fuck that.
She's the most attractive angler on the pro circuit, to the bass at least.
Oh, got her.
These fish look at her like that's another fish I want to fuck.
God, I want to fuck her.
Man, fish are so eager for her to lip them, they'll hit any lure she offers.
I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Rhythm Master Paul Korn. I'm not 100% positive. Fuck. But someone in Twitch chat when I was playing this game, because I was reading the bios for the pro version, and they said the person who wrote this was the most sexually repressed person in the office.
I just come in fish mouths. They gobble it up.
Tone it down, Dale.
I pretend them gasping for air is how much they love that scene.
Y'all, I'm gonna write an instruction manual that really encapsulates the when I pull out the butt plug and the butt does like the fish mouth. Y'all are gonna love it. Can you just say she has like, I don't know, like
she's cute?
Fuck no, man.
She's cute like a quivering rectum.
Not yet.
You know. A good quaking hole.
That's the main competitor of Quaker Oats is Quaking Hole.
Charlie Chum, a believer in fish attractants. Like flat earthers, there are fish attractants. Charlie eats anchovies for breakfast and washes his hands in fish formula. Pulls bass in like a magnet.
Charlie has sex with no one.
And actually, it's pretty unfortunate because a magnet has no effect on bass, and it's not a good comparison.
Maybe the magnet just needs to be more powerful.
He gets pussy like a magnet, in which case the two do not correlate. Clyde Casey, former Olympic arm wrestler. He sets his hook so hard he once uprooted a tree. His
How
bait
hard
was
is it?
Where does he fish? anywhere he goddamn wants.
In your mom's vagina.
Where Charlie Chum lives.
Prolapsing Pete. He'll lay his hook anywhere. Corey Crispin, a champion calf roper. He can cast further than any other angler. Calls his bass doggies. It's an important fact about Corey. And has a saddle mounted to the bow of his Ranger.
All right.
I almost called it his bow. And then what I think is the strangest, okay, I'm out of ideas. Willie Emerson began reading Bassmaster magazine in kindergarten. At age 16, he's the youngest angler on the pro circuit, and he has incredible endurance.
Most teenagers do.
Well, next year Nick Chase will join, and then it's all about him. He's the youngest. And speaking of which, I didn't realize, Phil, because I played Bassmasters Classic Pro Edition, which has entirely different roster of amateur anglers. In which I've sent you, Tyler, the page.
Perfect. To where did you send it?
Maybe I sent it to me. Did I say I sent it to you? Oops, I meant I sent it to... Oh, I sent it to you. Yeah. On Facebook, on Messenger.
Oh, there it is. All right.
A little slow.
Amateur anglers. Bob's, so these are quotes from each of them. All right. Bob Smithers. Sometimes you have to muscle them in a strangely rapey way, says Bob.
Yeah, that's not, that couldn't be taken out of context at all.
A former middleweight boxer and budding angler. Bob fishes all day and can be found swigging a cold one. Cold raw eggs, that is. Bob's best asset is his strength.
And his crippling cholesterol levels.
Bob is an unmarried man. He fishes and drinks cold. Gotta chill him down first. Ahmed Atoya.
Okay, before you get on this one,
okay,
I'm looking at the manual and they switched the sprites out. So they have the little boy, Nick Casey, for this guy who you're reading about.
Oh, they accidentally switched.
Yeah, it's not right. Yeah, Nick Casey is on the next page that I'll send you when you're done with this one. So, which kind of makes it funny because Nick Casey is actually a very young boy. So, when you get to the next page, you'll see this.
He's the reincarnation of the Dalai Lama, is what he is.
This balding, middle-aged man listed as this young sprout.
Born on Leap Day.
Fishing is a sacred form of spiritual cleansing, he says. Casting is the most important part of fishing. If you can't cast where the fish is meditating, you won't be able to offer him your most smelly worm or precious gem. That's how I get women. Offer them my most smelly worm. That's the thing you don't know about women. They really like a good set of musty balls.
They don't teach you that in health
Smell
class.
like socks and ammonia. They fucking love it. Chloe O'Reilly. She's one of the few women in the classic, but she has the endurance to outfish any tough guy. Don't expect to see Chloe at the docks to the last minute. Y'all can't keep up with me, I bet, she often teases. We're uncomfortable writing for female characters, so we just blatantly address what it is and move on.
Just let me talk about her gaping butthole. No, Dale. No.
Smelly worms. Cold eggs.
I know what I'm talking about.
Sanders Ramirez. Sanders holds 3 patents on hook sharpening methods. Once this guy snags a bass, it can't shake that hooked feeling.
It goes to hell with him.
Sanders used to use diamonds to cut his hooks. And now his new hooks can cut a diamond. That's sharp.
It's pretty sharp.
Nick Casey.
The middle-aged balding man.
This young sprout's first word was bass. And he got his boat permit before his car license. Nick knows Bass, and Bass know Nick. They are intimately familiar with each other. His first masturbatory experience was with a bass. Seems like he's caught most of them. Quote, I love Bass. Bass love me. I won the classic when I was 3. And last but not least, Earl Green. When this spunky oldster, they love when you call him that.
Yeah.
Is out at his favorite lake, he's home whittling some newfangled lure design. He says, my lures will have them throwing their little fishy selves all about my hook. Pray this isn't true.
That is literally in the instruction manual. Pray this isn't true. What?
Pray you never run into any of these psychopaths.
What? But no, I honestly...
We here at Bassmasters Classic Pro Edition want you to know that people who professionally fish are fucked.
I literally don't know why that last line is included. Pray this isn't true?
It's not true.
Why?
His jiggly wooden jigs.
So with all that said, I like this game a lot.
Good. I didn't understand how to do a fucking thing.
I wouldn't have if it hadn't been for Phil giving me tips on a stream long ago where I finished a game. I can't remember what it was, or if I gave up on a game. It might have been, who knows, it was probably a really bad game. And then Phil was like, a bass fishing game, and we chose this one, and then Phil gave me tips on it. I was still horrible at it. And then I read the instruction manual, fucking cover to cover. Yes, I read all the profiles. And then I was like, okay, I still got to fuck around on the game to figure out how to play it but like the instruction manual is like very, very, very important. Like, I feel like this is one of those games where it's like, if you rented this game as a kid, I don't know why you would, but if you rented this game as a kid, like, and it didn't come with the instruction manual, good luck. Cause it's like, all of it,
no clue.
Well, like a lot of it's self-explanatory, I feel like going to the bait shop, that's self-explanatory. Buying like a new rod and reel, fish finder, and engine, all of that self-explanatory. But then you get into like lures, and it's like they do give you little descriptions on the lures. So it's like, okay, I guess I can try to figure that out a little bit. You buy those, then you get on a boat, and you steering the boat. It's like, okay, I can deal this. But the moment you start fishing, it is like, oh my God, how do I fish?
Yeah. Well, the way you said read front to cover instruction manual triggered a story, something I remember a long time ago. So our old friend who rear-ended the former mayor of Murray in my car,
right,
and got arrested and spent a week in jail.
I know where you're going with this.
And when he got out, he told Josh and myself about all the books he had read the week he was in jail. He said he read like 120 books in that week. And I remember I just kind of let it roll off my back because he lied about a bunch of shit all the time. But for some reason, Josh took serious, like he was serious about like, I remember he just stared at him like, you fucking did not. 120 instruction booklets, I believe, but not books. Just the way, anytime anybody says instruction booklets, I think of Josh's sheer contempt for him in that moment. It would take you a week to read 120 instruction booklets.
It might.
But I remember, because I started playing this game, I didn't read the instruction booklet. I don't know shit about fishing, so I start. It's like, okay, click through. They do a pretty good job setting you up, telling you what you have to do. So then I get in. All right, well, I guess I'm going to go fish. I go fish. I figure out how to move the boat. I'm like, well, I assume you might have to go to the deepest area for the fish. That's just what I would think. So
Depends
I go
on the lure.
And I try to fish, and it's just like, you don't have a lure. Okay. Start. Do I have one? I just need to equip it. I see a spool of something there. Can I go to that? No. Why does it say 10 on it? Can I only cast 10 times? Okay, well, the tackle box is empty. So how do I...
Yeah, I see Hank.
All right, how do I... Then it took me about 10 more minutes to get back to the dock, get off the dock.
I'm baffled that your first reaction wasn't like, fuck yeah, I'm at Pebble Lake. Fuck yes.
This is where the first one is. He wasn't lying.
Oh, man.
So I went back. So I went to the bait shop this time. Okay, I'm going to buy some lures. Rods, reels, fishing radar, engines. Like, what am I? Is other shit I need to buy? Okay, lures. All right, tons of lures. Some look exactly the same in pallet swaps, and then others look radically different. I don't know what's effective. I don't know how to do any of this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll buy this one. Okay, let me exit out. Okay, nope, I bought it again. Okay, let me exit out. Okay, nope, I bought it again. All right, well, there's a different one. I guess I'll buy that one. Now I'm going to exit out. Nope, I bought it again. I spent like all my money on lures trying to get out of the menu after I got some lures.
It's like $100.
Yeah. And they're $5 a piece.
Right.
So I bought a lot of lures.
The bait shop Hank's like, I ain't fucking telling him. This is working out great
He's
for me.
lost. He's wandering over here buying stuff. I'm not going to tell him how to get out.
He's better than that other one. Came in talking about prolapses for 30 minutes.
So then I went to the start fishing, the tournament fish.
Yeah.
And I went to that, and for some reason, the same controls from the practice lake, I could not steer the boat. So it was just like, why is suddenly the boat not working? So I was like, fuck it, I'll cast right here. So I figured out how to cast. I cast straight out in front of me so long. And then I had like some sort of yellow jig that just looked sort of like a kid's poorly drawn sun. And it just, I soared out, hits the water, it sort of sinks a little bit and sets there. Okay, what do I do? Okay.
And now this is absolutely where I feel like the instruction manual is 100% required.
Yeah. Well, because I eventually, I pressed enough buttons that it started, going down to the side. I went all the way down to the bottom of the lake.
Mm-hmm.
I sat there. I pulled up my phone. I played another game and just waited.
Just like real fishing.
Eventually, a fish did show up. And I was like, all right, fuck yeah, there's a fish. Okay, it's just swimming by me. It's just swimming by me again. It comes close and I hear, and nothing, just swims off. So I'm trying to chase it with my lure, and I'm going all around it. It's just like, nah, fuck you. I know this is a trap now. So then, all right, fine, I guess I'll move my boat.
You
So
should have caught me when you had the chance.
Yeah. So I was like, I guess I need to reel it in and move my boat maybe. I don't know how to reel it in. So I go all the way back up to the surface, press all the buttons, nothing's working. So then I'm like, well, fuck it. How do I go back down? I couldn't make the lure go back down for a long time. So eventually I figured it out. And it starts going back down super fast all of a sudden. I don't know what I did any differently. It goes down super fast halfway. I see another fish. So I stop. And I'm slowly sinking, trying to get up to this other fish. It's the same thing. Gets really close. And I hear, and nothing. So then I go back to the bottom. There's that fish again. I try to go sort of near it. I tried to stand still.
Teasing you.
I tried to do just a little bit of movement. I tried to do fast movement. Does not give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
I tried this fucking forever. I can't reel my cast up. I can't change anything. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like,
That's when I showed up.
What other games can I play?
Yeah, enter Dave.
Because that all took me the course of about an hour to do.
Yeah, that's
I was
rough.
like, I do not understand this at all.
Yeah, that's rough. Well, I had a very different experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a very different experience. I played this game with the instruction manual up because I do think it's very helpful to reference because they go into detail what the lures do and how you use them. Because each lure, not each lure, but different lures have different controls that are supposed to entice the fish to bite it.
See, I played as Zoe Shelby.
I should have
they
asked.
want to fuck her so badly, but no, fish don't fucking give a shit. Fish do not want her.
I played Nick Chase as requested by Harold Arthur.
Mhm.
Good.
And I felt like it was a solid bet because he already won the classic when he was 3. So what's
Won
one
it
more?
again, yeah.
I
do
won.
have one friend that's a professional fisher, though.
You do?
Like a legit tournament fisher, and he does pretty well.
Really?
There's more money in it than I would have ever
Oh,
thought.
well, dude, I mean, Nick Chase won $125,000 or something like that.
There you go.
That's a lot.
Do the fish want to fuck him?
But your first time out, you won the tournament.
Won the tournament on Pebble Lake, at least. There are, Phil, there are like 3 more.
I think there's 4 more.
Tournaments? 4 more tournaments.
No, 3
Yeah.
more. Yeah, 4 total.
Okay. So I did that in 3 hours. It took 3 hours to finish one tournament.
It's 3 days. It's a multi-day tournament, so it's about an hour per day.
Right. And I felt like that was a fine pace. Honestly, if anything, it felt too short because I was playing the game.
You can't turn on like real-time mode, but it actually takes 72 hours.
Okay, yeah, that would. Man, I don't know about that one. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'd commit to that. But like, I don't know, because I was doing well enough to be competitive. I wanted it to be longer because it's like I'd be in 5th place or something like that, and it's like at any time you can press select and go to tournament info and like see the standings and the rankings and all that. So it's like I was paying real close attention to that. And I always felt like I needed more time until the very, very end where I was in 1st place. And then I was like, yeah, this needs to be over now. Shut it down. Shut it down now for anyone catches.
Stop the count. Stop the count.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that if I got 2nd place in that tournament.
You gotta let him catch all the fish in the lake. It's not over till all the fish are gone.
Fuck it, I'm not first. I'm going to the bait shop.
No mail-in fish.
Okay, so you start the tournament, and they're like, okay, here's the season, spring. Here's the water condition, murky. And it's like, all right. So now when I go to the
That
bait,
depends on your lure. Then.
yes, it helps you decide what lures to buy
And fish
use.
radar.
Fish radar, I didn't have enough money for fish radar. So I just had the basic ass fish radar. And truly, honestly, embarrassingly, like on the last day of the tournament with maybe an hour left, I was like, what are all these dots on the fish finder? And chat was like, those are fish. Oh, okay.
I thought they were typing a message and they weren't done yet.
Right. Oh, I thought it was like the curvature of the earth below the lake or something. So yeah, I mean, so I thought that was neat because it's like, okay, so it's spring, it's murky water. So when I go into the bait shop and you look at the lures, those all have like conditions on them. And they'll say like, this is best in spring for shallow water. And that's murky. It's like, all right, I'm going to buy 3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a bunch of lures and then I bought a replacement line because I honestly didn't know. I couldn't afford much else after that.
Yeah.
Like I could get a reel or a line, and I might have gotten, I can't remember, like a cheap reel and a cheap line or something like that. And then I was like, well, I'm broke. If I lose this tournament, I'm fucked.
Yep.
Um,
Go back to school, Nick Casey.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, how's he doing this in spring? What is this like? Is there a 3-day weekend in spring? I don't know. Memorial Day?
There you go. Memorial Day weekend.
I don't know.
Bass tournament.
But yeah, I thought that I had a really good time with it. I really did. I didn't expect to have a really good time with it. I think that streaming it probably helped, honestly, because I got to like talk and stuff while I'm doing this. I don't know if I would have had the same experience just like sitting in
alone
silence
in a cold garage
for 3 hours, right?
Listening.
For 3 hours, like waiting for fish to bite. But I mean, I don't know. I thought it was good. I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. Phil?
I fired this up over the weekend and had somewhere in between your guys' experiences, because I was playing it alone, like Tyler was. So, and I can attest to the fact that it's not nearly as fun by yourself. It is more. It tries to be a fishing sim, and sims can be slow and monotonous at times because they're trying to simulate fishing, which is slow and monotonous. You cast and you sit there. And Tyler and I were playing the vanilla version while you were playing the pro version, which I love.
Which is
being
much
able,
better.
Yeah, I love being able to see you play after I had played mine, because then I can spot the differences, and I can tell you the number of fish that you were seeing, Dave, was far, far more than Tyler and I were seeing in the game. I spent the first half of the first day hardly seeing any fish. I thought I had gotten the oops, no fish version of the game.
The ROM hack.
Yeah. And then when I catch them, they fight a lot longer. So every time you're reeling in, and you can cast super far out there, 120 plus feet. And if you catch one way the F out there, you're going to be spending a really, really long time reeling it in. Whereas the version that you were playing, they must have decided, let's speed that up a little bit. Let's make it a little bit more streamlined, because once you had hooked them, they were coming in really, really quickly, which I thought made it a lot more fun. Because once you hook one and bring one in, and you're sitting there wondering, all right, like, how big is this fish that I got? That's kind of the fun, like, Easter egg surprise. You're reeling in, wondering what you got, and you want to cast out and get another one. But if you're sitting there spending the whole time reeling in this fish, it takes a lot of the fun out of it. So, no, I thought they did a good job of remaking this. Essentially, what this is an update, a patch is what you would have normally for a game that was made today. Is you would patch it with what they did here for your game, which, updated the graphics, added some quality of life aspects to it, like a radio that you can change channels, timestamps on where and when you caught the fish. You'd have better graphics in the water. The vanilla version, the water and that landscape is super barren and super monotonous, and it makes for a not very interesting visual palette to look at. So I thought they did a really good job of updating it for the Pro version.
Yeah, I agree. I think I watched some gameplay of the vanilla version, which came out in 1995. The Pro edition came out the following year, so only a year had passed. But really, I mean, it's like you said, not a whole lot. Like, the core game mechanics are all the same. It's just improvements upon the original. I think that I had a problem too, even on Pro Edition, because like when I was setting up the stream for Sunday, I was playing around with it to make sure everything looked okay. And I went out on the lake and was like, well, let me see how much of this I remember from when Phil was tutoring me many streams ago.
Yeah.
And I had a really hard time reeling fish in until, again, I went to my trusty companion, the instruction manual that says, if you press A and B simultaneousthis, you reel in harder or quicker.
Yeah.
And they were also a mistake that I was doing. And this is all my point is, like, this is one of these games where it's like fucking really super, like, a kid would have been screwed without the instruction manual, unless they had a friend who knew what the fuck was going on. Because it's like, also, like, when the fish moves to the right, you want to pull it to the left. You always want it to be, you want to pull it back to center. Mm-hmm. And if you hold down left on the D-pad, which instinctually I think you would do, because it's like you're really pulling on the pole, the rod, it doesn't really work. You have to tap it. You have to tap left. And then when I started doing all of those things, just tap it in. Just tap it in. Once I started doing all those things in concert with one another, all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, I am reeling these fish in way faster than, just tapping A and holding down on left or right.
Yeah. I guess I like, same way I don't like sports simulators. I guess I don't like fish simulators. I like the bombastic, like, fun, like fishing in Link's Awakening or Final Fantasy 11 or Hades.
Give us the Super Punch-Out treatment for fishing. Is what I want.
I'm down, man. Give us the Golf Story treatment for fishing. Like, I mean,
part of what I like about these old games is that, even when they're trying to do a sim, there's just not the power to do a fishing sim. So it still ends up being somewhat arcade-like. And I've yet to really, really find that in new fishing games, because now we have the technology to make a realistic looking fishing environment. And so all the fishing games that I come across are really, really trying to pound that simulation, which, let's be frank, fishing is fucking boring. Like, part of the reason why you do fishing is because you go out on the lake, which is nice to be out in the environment, and you drink a bunch of beer.
Yeah.
And
same as golf.
It's just not the same getting drunk in your basement in front of a TV. So
what?
we have very different fishing experiences.
I want that NBA Jam fishing style of game, or the Golf Story style of fishing game. I think would be a lot of fun. So
yeah. Well, see, I guess I never was drawn to anything fishing as a kid, because fishing for me was always something I fucking hated.
Did you have to do it? Like,
oh
was
yeah,
it one of those
my
things?
dad would want to go
That's
fishing.
why you hated it.
And my dad would like, all right, let's go fishing. It'd be super hot, and we would always, he knew a pond in the middle of a cow field, so we'd have to go like at least walk through around cow patties and high grass, a quarter of a mile to some shitty pond, and find an area that wasn't too boggy to stand, and then try to fish, and just stand there in the heat.
Oh, so
and
no
the
boat.
smelly cow shit. Yeah, never.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this fucking sucks. Why does anyone fish ever? This is terrible.
Well, you weren't drinking.
Yeah, also wasn't part of it. Dad was fucking super happy. He loved it.
Here, Tyler, I brought you some milk in a thermos.
That's not too far from the truth.
I liked fishing as a kid, and that might have something to do with why I like this game. I mean, like, I never went like bass fishing or anything like that. But I mean, anytime there was, like, I remember being a kid, and this will let everybody know how old I am, where it's like, I lived in an age where it's like, Mom, I'm going to go fishing. Okay. And then I'd go fishing. I'm 8 years old. I'm going fishing by myself in the park. You know,
Yeah,
it's just like, and everything worked out. You know what I mean? It's like, I caught some fish, threw them back. No one touched my butthole. It was fine. I went home. Mom was like, how was it? It was awesome. Cool.
You want to touch your butthole? No.
Hey, Dad, I went fishing. Good. Love you a little bit more. Don't ruin it later, but you probably will.
But I only had the experience of fishing on like a boat one time, and that was like, I remember weirdly, we took a weird field trip in middle school where I swear to you, it was just like, we're just gonna go drive the bus somewhere and fish. It was so weird, man. And it's like the girl,
25 kids fishing off a boat.
No, well, it's like we all split up. It was one of those things where it's like a group of kids were like, we don't want to fish. We're going to go to whatever and do whatever the other kids did. But it was like me and 4 other friends who were like, we're going to get a boat. We're going to go fish.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And we caught nothing, and it was fun. Because we sat on a boat, casting our lines, talking about Super Nintendo RPGs.
Okay, that sounds all right. That I could do.
Phil, did you fish? Did you fish as a child?
Yes and no. I didn't. It wasn't anything that I grew up doing.
How was that a yes and no? What's the middle ground between fishing and not fishing?
Fish were drawn to me.
You're Schrodinger's fishing.
I was not from a fishing family, but my grandfather liked to fish, and we would go. He had a lakeside cabin in Upper Peninsula of Michigan that we would go to every summer, and so we would go fishing off the dock or go fishing in his boat. And then when you go camping, we'd bring a fishing pole and tackle and everything and go fishing when we were camping. But it was not a regular occurrence that I ever looked forward to. And, for the most part, I found it fairly uncomfortable because you are out on a boat not doing anything for most of the time, and you are usually very hot. And you are not old enough to drink yet, so there's not a whole lot you can really do except just sit there in an old aluminum boat and wait for shit to happen and hope that whichever adult that you are fishing with doesn't take the rod from your hand when you get a bite because you're not doing it correctly. So
yeah,
which I feel is probably a pretty common thing.
Yeah.
That's happened to me several times. I remember in my life is, the joy of hooking a fish and seeing that and feeling it, and then after doing it for a bit, one of the adults being like, "You're not, give me it. Come here, just give me the pole." And yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound. Yeah, they're taking the exciting part away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, fail, catch the fish or not. I mean, it's still exciting that you're interacting with the fish on the other end, right?
Which I have a little more sympathy now as an adult and watching my own son screw something up and like having to resist that urge to step in and be like, "You're not doing whatever correctly. Let me show you how to do it," and then do it for him, and then he doesn't learn or care about what we're doing.
Your bean dad trying to open that can of beans.
Well, see, that reminds. I guess I'm kind of bean dad in a way, because like you were talking about that, Phil, and it's like yesterday when I was setting up Bassmasters Classic, Henry came in the room and he was like, because I had told him about Tetris, because he plays a block game that's like reminds me of Tetris.
Mhm.
He plays it on his iPad. And he's like, "Dad, can you set up that block game for me you were talking about?" And I was like, "Tetris?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "You bet." And so like set Tetris up, got them all playing. He was horrible. And he knew he was horrible. Not because I told him he was horrible, just because it's like, when you're bad at, when you're not doing well at Tetris. I mean, the fucking screen fills up. And I was like, I didn't say anything. I was just like, I was like, okay. And then the second one started and I could see that he was getting frustrated. And I was like, "Do you want me to help you? Or do you want to figure this out on your own?" And he's like, "Yeah, help me." So then I helped him. We still lost. He cried. And then I explained to him that it's not whether or not you win at Tetris, it's whether you had fun. But I can tell you didn't. So I guess it's back to your block game on your iPad then.
Guess you go back to the little kid game like a baby.
Yeah, like a baby. No, but it was, his thing is like, and it's weird to me, man, because it's like, obviously I grew up in a world, like when I was his age, touch screens were like not a thing.
Yep.
And it's like, he doesn't like controllers, man. He does not like controllers. And it's like, I understand. I don't like playing like first person shooter games with controllers either. So I can kind of understand, like, you're used to touching things on a screen and I'm used to holding a controller or a mouse and keyboard. Yeah. So it's like, that was his big stumbling block, was just like, what do I do with this Nintendo control, this NES controller? It hurts my hands. It's like a block.
Why does it cut into your palms?
Right. That's how you know you're alive, son.
The edges are so sharp.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
That's why Jesus had those wounds in his hands. My dad loved fishing so much. I don't remember this, but so pre me coming online, he took me fishing.
I still come online.
I caught a teeny tiny bluegill.
Yeah.
He went ahead at taxidermy to mount it. Tyler's first fish. It's still in their house somewhere.
Really?
And my house.
We need photos.
My room in the house I'm living at when I was in third grade was all fishing and hunting themed.
Like by your choice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, Mom, love it. Paint it hunter green. Do borders up top of like fishing and nets and shit. Go ahead and put fake rods and reels in the corner. Like, this is fucking great, Mom. This is me.
How old were you? Third
sports
grade?
Shit. Definitely put sports shit in my kindergarten brother's room. Yeah, do that. Perfect.
This was third grade.
Tennis. Yeah, tennis. No one even knows anything about tennis in this family. But fucking do that shit, Mom. Perfect. What was your bedroom themed, Phil?
I remember having a very nondescript bedroom that was not, it wasn't the place that I wanted to hang out. The TV room was where I wanted to hang out. So I didn't do anything to personalize my bedroom. I remember the same children's like mobile. It wasn't really a mobile, but it was a battery powered plane on a string that when you turned it on would like swing in circles. And that was up for like 10 years. Well, I was probably in middle school before I decided to let me just get a ladder and take that fucking thing down. But I did not give a shit about my room outside of putting up a few like Lord of the Rings posters or sports posters when I got older.
Man, themed rooms were a thing for me. And it's like
Yeah.
and it was like totally my mom, but like at least she wasn't like, this is what your room is gonna be. She was like, what do you want your room to be? And I remember being like, oh, I don't care. She's
Bed themed?
like, right. And
My mom told me she nearly started her own wallpapering business because she loves hanging wallpaper.
she loves hanging wallpaper.
She loves it.
Was
So we had all sorts of wallpaper in all our houses growing up.
She must be gifted because like a lot of people I feel like are not good at hanging wallpaper.
Oh, yeah. She
So
was all about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I had
She had all the tools for like soaking it, the special glue and the brushes and shit. And yeah, she loved
wow. The whole paraphernalia.
it. Yeah.
It's a culture.
I'm a wall hanger. If you don't know, you don't know.
She's on all the Facebook wall hanging groups. I had a pound puppy
Nice.
themed
That's
room.
something you would enjoy, though.
I enjoyed
you
it.
You had an option.
I did. I picked that. He didn't say anything about it. Sure, my dad probably didn't like it.
These like big badass bulldogs. This one's got a jacket on.
This was named Spike. That's the one I have. I'm good, right, Dad? I picked the manly one, Dad.
I'm gonna go fishing. All right.
I'm always gonna keep you guessing, Dad. You don't know what I'm gonna zig or zag, bud. I got pound puppies. I'm also fishing.
I got some nudes, Dad. All right. There's dicks in them, though.
It's a mixed bag, Dad. It's a mixed bag. I had pound puppies, and then I remember I had a whale-themed room. Yes, that was very cool, very popular with my whale-themed room, which I think I was in 5th grade, which featured like a 1,000-piece puzzle of a whale that I did with my mom, and then we framed.
Just imagine you go to a new school. Dave, introduce yourself to everybody. That's well for hi, my name is Dave.
Hi, my name is Dave, and I'll never have sex. Nice to meet you, kids. I'm also struggling with my multiplication table, so if you think I'm smart, you're wrong. Things didn't kick in until 6th grade, where I had the badass comic book themed.
There you go.
Yeah, where I remember this was actually really cool. My mom had got like some molding or something to make rails like throughout the whole like stretch of my room. And I hung but I placed like key issues of comic books there. That was probably my favorite room. Yeah.
That's what, like, Artsy AJ, like, we just kind of let her do whatever.
Yeah.
She has an amazing room. I would have loved her room as a kid. She's very much a creative type, and she's decked her room out amazingly with Marvel stuff and all these big mosaics of, like, Markiplier, all the boys she thinks are cute, and all her friends, and she loves maps of the world, so she has those hanging up with her paintings, and also, like, the Captain America shield hanging up, like...
Yeah.
And her and Brandy Jr. both love ivy, so they have like fake ivy over all their windows.
Well, you talking about like letting her do whatever she wants with her room. That is absolutely what we're doing with Henry, which makes it look like he lives in a serial killer's house. Because it's like, oh, what you decorating your room with, 6-year-old? Oh, UPS labels? Okay. Oh, you cut out some diamonds out of construction paper? Cool. I mean, look. I mean, honestly, it's like he enjoys it, so it's like fine. But when people do come over, which is never now, but when they do come over, it's like, look, I got to tell you a few things, okay? We do take care of our child, regardless of what it looks like, because his room is decorated like a fucking Warren, okay? It's just scraps of just things, and it's just, all right, man, this is your outlet. That's cool. But yeah, we have multiple UPS labels on the wall in this room.
It's that it was supposed to go somewhere, and it didn't, Father. It stopped and died here in my room. Never being received by its happy party.
Oh God. And then we have a bunch of cardboard boxes. Dude, when something gets shipped to the house, I have to like covertly remove the product from the box and then like immediately break the box down and put it in recycling. Cause like, cause you were over at my house not too long ago and he like wanted to show you his time machine and all that. And it's like, look, I love all that, but son, man, you got too many fucking boxes in your room, dog.
They're shipping labels and boxes.
Like, it's like, dude, like, this was 2020 was his year because it's like we got more stuff shipped to the house because we're not going out for it. So it's just like fucking boxes, bring it on, man. I'm gonna build a vending machine. I'm gonna build a time machine.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
He watches Slick Slime Sam. I don't know if you're familiar with
Not
that.
familiar with that.
No.
It's a YouTube channel that's built around like it's crafting. So it's this lady who does a bunch of crafting with cardboard. So because he loves her channel, and it is, I mean, it's good content, for
that sounds
kids.
pretty good,
It's good content. But like
better than Kenna's Ruby Rube that she watches all the fucking time.
Ruby Rube?
Pennywise calls her at 3 a.m.
What?
Okay. Meanwhile, Henry's like making vending machines and shit out of cardboard.
Well, he was so proud of that fucking vending machine that like, cause like Nikki wakes up with him in the morning and I'm a lazy piece of shit that like stays in bed until 7:10, then rolls out to get to work. They're gone by the time I wake up. But like, I remember like, he was so excited about making that vending machine that he just like, in the morning after he built it, he burst into our room fucking naked. It was like, Dad, buy something from the vending machine. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Answer your telephone.
Yeah.
Answer your telephone.
I mean, it was fucking madness, man. I was just like gripping onto the sheets like, what the fuck?
At some point in the course of our friendship, I will burst in on you naked and tell you to buy something from the vending machine.
You act like it's never happened. Oh God! Sorry to turn that into Children's Corner for a solid 20 minutes.
What's Arthur's room like, Phil?
He likes he's always wanted his room to be like a jungle. So there are houseplants everywhere inside there that we've cultivated over the years. We have a lot of houseplants all over the house. So he wanted to get in on some of that. It's generally like it's full of nature posters and things we've taken out of magazines. He's got this gigantic double-decker bed that we inherited from a friend of ours whose teenage son grew out of it. It's like a custom homemade wooden bed frame, a bunk, and then underneath is this alcove with 3 sets of wraparound shelves for books and other crap. And then
badass.
The side of it has a desk, which Arthur doesn't utilize yet, but hopefully when he gets older, gets his own computer, then he can kind of set that up in there. So it's, as far as kids' rooms go, I think it's pretty good. He does have one corner that is nothing but crap. Like, just everything is pushed
UPS
up.
labels. That's where he puts his UPS labels.
So we don't go to that corner of the room. But besides that, he's got a pretty sweet room for a kid. Every single space, every single
everywhere the light touches.
Space, every single open space is covered with crap, though, so that we don't try to leave a whole lot of open shelf space because it'll just pile up with garbage.
Word, I know that.
Does he look at his bunk bed and ask him when he'll get a sibling?
Well,
surely it must be on the way, Father, for there are 2 beds.
He used to think it would be a good idea to have a younger sibling, but now that he's 10 years old and still an only child, I think he's pretty good with that. He knows that any new child will be a baby.
Steel focus.
And probably. But
a fierce
I think
competitor.
RC AJ was very blatant about how she did not want Melissa and I to have any more babies.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we'll never know because Dad's not going to the doctor to get checked.
No one wants you to have more babies, okay? You have enough. There are 4 of us. Shut up.
I don't care. I'm not getting my sperm checked.
We'll just see what happens.
It's called gambling, and it's riveting.
Well, do you guys have any achievements for this game? I don't know where else to go now.
That's it. It's a fishing game. I'm not sure how much it differs from the other fishing games, which all have catch 5 fish. And then once you've caught 5 fish, then you've got to catch bigger fish and throw out the smallest ones, and then they judge you based on the total cumulative weight.
And then there's a lake record as well that you can beat for bonus money.
There's a lake record.
Mm-hmm. For
You
the
beat the
biggest
record.
fish ever caught. Broke that record, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was really, like, you're going to think I'm joking maybe, but when I saw a medium-sized fish in the game, I got really excited. Like, it was like...
That bodes well for me.
Yeah. But I saw it and I was like, oh my God, is that bigger than the other ones that we've seen? And it was. And I almost like, it was like, oh, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, good.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want the medium fish. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
But I didn't play the vanilla version. I played the better version, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
I think it did, because I know how much you dislike simulated sports, and I think you would have had a much worse time with vanilla.
And please don't take this the wrong way. Please, Phil, anyone listening.
The election was stolen.
Yeah.
Jewish space lasers, guys.
What really is a traitor? No, this is fishing a sport? Of course it is. Of course it's a sport, but like it's a soft sport, right?
I don't understand I don't understand it. I'm with you. I don't understand.
It's a soft sport, right?
It just feels like who's the luckiest, go.
Right.
And all the weird rules about the sizes and how many you can catch and that, like, yeah, I don't get it.
But
I don't
see,
understand.
I think that's what makes it a sport is the weird rules and like all of that. Like to me, fishing is like, I don't know, man. It's like a survival thing that we've kind of been like, we can make this a sport. You know what I mean? No one's playing football to live. You know, but like people are hunting and fishing to fucking live. They used to before we had fucking Walmart, you know, like think about it. So it's
facts,
right? So it's always been kind of weird to me because it's like, obviously it's a sport, but it's also not a sport. You know what I mean? Like it's also just like a thing that you can do to feed yourself or for you know, like I get it, sports are recreational, but I mean like, I don't know. I guess
I know there's a basic skill to it, but how much better is a journeyman fisher than a master fisher? Like, at what point are you a master fisherman?
I guess it's just knowledge, right? I mean, it's knowing when to use what lures and like where the fish live and all that, right? I mean, I guess, but I guess my point is that.
TADPOG fishermen, let us know.
My point is that...
Or fisher women, fisher people, let us know.
I don't...
TADPOG fish, I don't know.
Fish people. Deep ones, let us know. What do you think?
Fatagan Renakathulu, fishermen.
But I guess my point is that it's like, I don't consider this a sports game. I know that it is, but I don't consider it a sports game. I consider it a game where you kill fish.
Yeah, all right. Is Big Buck Hunter a sports game?
No, I don't. I mean, yeah, of course it is, but I don't consider it one because you shoot a gun. And I'm not to say
is Caveman Games a sports game?
Yes, because it's not good.
No, okay, it's fair.
So like fishing, shooting, racing, they all kind of exist in this nebulous area between sports and not sports.
I'm glad you brought up racing because I'd forgotten that. But totally, I love racing games. If there's arcadey.
Yeah. But then you start going down the slippery slope of like what is not a sport, because chess, for example, it's a competitive one-on-one game, but there's no athletic ability being used. But then is there athletic ability being used when you fish? Like maybe for a bit, and maybe with like ocean fishing where you're bringing in huge fish, but bass fishing.
And how do you determine what's athletic and what's not? Like, is it calories burned? Because I saw in a YouTube video that people play chess burn a lot of calories just from the act of playing chess. I don't know if that's true. I didn't do research, but I was like, all right, YouTube video.
I believe it.
Yep. That makes me feel better about my life decisions. So yeah, I probably burned a lot of calories thinking real hard about Super Nintendo games too.
I burned whenever I would grind in Earthbound on Carpenter's Cultist, man. Yeah, I was burning a lot of fucking calories.
A lot of fucking calories. I'm an athlete.
Cultist FF, yeah, fucking burning a lot of calories getting there.
It did remind me of a racing game, because you are literally racing 10 or 9 other fishermen people, anglers, because you are trying to catch the heaviest amount of fish before they catch the heaviest amount of fish. So, and I think that might also be something that I liked about it. Like it is weird how much I wanted first place. Like, I mean, it really got that. Like, it really was like, I don't know. It hooked me, I guess to say. But it's like once I
hook so sharp. I pray that isn't true, Dave.
But it was like, I don't know, it got exciting because because I felt like I could win. And it's like, all right, this is exciting. Like, let's do it. Let's fucking roll these dice because, some of it did feel like luck.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I can use the right lure. I can use the right, I can fish in the right spot or what I think is the right spot based on all the fish finder dots. And also in the Pro Edition, you can see them jumping out of the water from time to time, which is nice because it's like, a lot of times I didn't use the fish finder. It's like, there's one, cast.
Yeah. Well, sorry.
You
never saw a fish jump at Final Fantasy 11. You just had to hope.
That is true. You just had to sink time.
Hope a goblin didn't get you. If there were goblins trying to get you in this game,
I think that would make it better.
Yeah.
I honestly do. Or a Sahagan, sure.
Fucking Sahagan.
Oh man, they were the worst. Bring your prism powders and your silence potions. I can't remember what they were called.
Sneak oil.
Sneak oil. There you go.
Well, did you guys have any achievements?
I got a couple that came in from ye old Twitch chat. I got a lot of submissions, which was amazing. Thank you. These are my favorites. The first of which, Bass Master Classic. In order to unlock Bass Master Classic, you unlock Bass Master Classic by mistakenly renting this game, thinking it was a Victor Wooten bass guitar simulator. Victor Wooten, amazing bass guitar player. And I'll be honest with you.
For what? Something I should have heard of?
Like what band?
Yeah.
Like Bela Fleck and the Flecktones.
I don't know.
He's like,
I heard the door crack open. You're fine to come in, wife, please. She has my medication.
Oh, hey, Melissa. Victor Wooten is like an amazing bass guitar player. And this is like why I chose this achievement, because I was like, a Victor Wooten, that's a deep cut. That is a deep cut. So it's going in. That came in from Beloved Adam. Also, I want to mention that.
Well, wait, real quick. Melissa, did you fish as a kid? A lot?
More than once a month. I don't know what's a lot either.
Did you enjoy fishing?
She gave the so hand gesture.
We're talking about a fishing
Talking
game.
about a fishing game.
And she's out of here as quickly as possible. Well, how did you fish? Did you go out on a boat and fish?
She said, uh-huh.
Oh, she went the good fishing.
Yeah,
not in the middle of a cow patty field like I did. Well, see, that sounds awesome. Spear fishing.
That does sound awesome. Do you want to be on the microphone so people can hear you? They can't hear you right now, I don't think.
Oh, I don't know what it's called. The proper term for it, where you take the actual thing and throw it.
Like the net fish?
Like the thing. thing flies in the air and you throw it at them
Oh, I don't know.
in the river. It was really cool.
Like fly fishing?
No.
I don't know. I've never done that.
The fish jumps out, and you throw your spear at the fish.
Holy shit. That sounds amazing.
But I
Yeah.
wasn't
You're
successful.
making that up.
No, I swear to God, on
You're
the
like-
Ohio River.
Like fucking Poseidon over here. I
Yeah.
love it.
Or it could have been the Mississippi. I can't. The one in Carlisle County, whatever that is.
Okay.
And then the other one.
Is this your
Where
ex-boyfriend
the-
took you that kind of fishing?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Are you jealous? But when
Good date.
but when we were kids, we would go and just put the thing in their heads, the bad fish that you can't eat, like crayfish. Is that what it's called?
like the crustaceans, like little crawfish.
No, they were pretty big. No, the ones that are like in the creek that you can't eat because they're disgusting.
Oh, I don't know. You know way more about fish than I do. Way
But
more.
then you can like fish off the bank, and that's not ever fun though.
Yeah.
I mean, those carp are just gross bottom feeders. Nobody eats those.
Wow.
Thank you, wife, for telling us about your fabulous dates with your ex-boyfriend.
So, fuck, I should have asked her if she's ever done the thing where you like stick your hand into a hole in a pond and then pull out a catfish.
Yeah. Oh, I know what
What's
you're
that
talking about.
called? I can't remember.
I severely doubt she is done that.
Channeling? Is that what that's called? I don't know what that is.
What is that called? There used to be a show about it.
Right, yeah. Wasn't there an episode of Doug where Doug wanted to catch a big old fish?
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember the name of that fish, but I sure wish I could. Next achievement I have is so anyway, I started Bastin. In order to unlock so anyway, I started Bastin. You play a tournament while watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And that came in from Cathusius Jeff. Next achievement I have is girl, you look sorry. Sorry, I gotta get in the right mindset. Girl, you look good when you back that bass up. In order to unlock girl, you look good when you back that bass up. My aunt loved that song, by the way. Not the bass one, but the ass one.
Yeah?
Yeah, and the thong song. That's the first time I think I heard that song. It was in the car with her.
Does she have a big ass?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
She was just owning it, I think.
For my people.
Right. So in order to unlock girl, you look good when you back that bass up, catch a record-setting bass, which, by the way, is really fucking hard to read because that could also be record-setting bass, which is the way my mind as a podcaster wants to fucking go. Catch a record-setting bass with the female character. Bonus points if you're listening to the juvenile song while accomplishing it. That came in from Captain Vio. And please let me know if I said that wrong. I probably 100% did. The next achievement I got, the last one I have is all treble, no bass or bass. In order to unlock all treble, no bass, use a lure with treble hook to catch only non-bass fish. That came in from Laud Dennis. And I'm glad that achievement was submitted because there are other fish in the lake other than bass, and they want to eat your shit. And you don't want them to because they don't count.
Yep.
I had a pike, a big fucking pike, come like push a bass out of the way. He's like, no, that's my lure. And then you have two options. You can either cut the line and lose the lure or waste time reeling them in, which I normally did because I'm like, precious lure.
I only bought 50 of them accidentally. I've got one low-hanging fruit achievement.
All right.
I wonder if it's the same one that I have.
Uh-oh.
Let me hear it.
Gigawatt.
Okay, never mind.
Winter tournament using only jigs.
Ah, okay.
Okay, my low-hanging fruit was bass to bass.
Bass to bass.
Bass to bass. And you get that by catching two bass in a row because, like Dave said, sometimes that's hard.
Sometimes
you get
that
pushed-
is hard. Yeah. Sometimes
they
you gotta
push off
involve
your lure.
drugs to make it happen.
Yeah. And then the other achievement I have is don't be afraid to catch fish. Are you familiar with the Pharrell Williams Katy Perry song "Feels"?
I will be on the way home.
Okay. It's very catchy, it's very light and summery, and the chorus is Katy Perry singing "Don't be afraid to catch feels," but the way she sings it it absolutely sounds like she's saying, "Don't be afraid to catch fish." And the music video has Pharrell Williams on a boat in a pond. And I swear it has to be intentional. But
it has to be. Those words are nothing alike other than having the same number of letters and starting with the same letter.
Right. So,
don't be afraid to catch fish. I need to listen to this to hear how that is done.
Do it. And because that has it's like an earworm that just absolutely drives me nuts. So, now you get that by just firing up Bassmasters Classic because, don't be afraid to play a bass fishing game. You might actually like it, like Dave.
Yeah,
don't be afraid to catch fish.
I'm not afraid.
I still can't hear Ariana Grande's "Thank You Next" without it sounds like bacon eggs. Bacon eggs, bacon eggs. Like I do not hear "Thank You Next." It's always bacon eggs. And that Black Widow song, I think Iggy Azalea did it. She says "Black Widow baby." To me it says "Black Widow baby." So I
like an itty bitty widow baby.
Yeah, it's a black widow baby.
Widow baby.
Bacon eggs.
Chicken necks.
Anybody want to take a guess on how much this game might run? There are technically two different games we're talking about here. Maybe start with Bassmasters Classic.
I think so. When I was looking for content about Bassmasters Classic, all I got was stuff for the Pro Edition, which makes me think that the original might be hard to find. That said, it's a bass fishing game, so I don't think it'll be too expensive. But I think $15, and you'd probably find it for sale for $25 at the local resale place. But 15 is my guess.
$15, little man. All right. Tyler, what do you think? Bassmasters Classic, loose.
$17.
Actual retail value of Bassmasters Classic, loose, for the Super Nintendo, on average, according to PriceCharting.com, at the time of this recording, is $7.43.
Damn.
Is it worth it?
I mean,
is it?
I thought it would be. I thought $15 sounded fair. So yes.
Look, I'm not going to reveal how much Bassmasters Classic Pro Edition is, but my advice would be, if you've only got a limited amount of money and you only want to buy one of these, I don't know.
Yeah, probably didn't want to spend the same money on the same game again. Unless it's Street Fighter Turbo Edition.
God, yeah, man. If fucking Street Fighter comes out and I'm buying it. Like a fucking dummy. I'll say that I won't, and then I inevitably will. Do you guys want to take a guess at how much Bassmasters Classic Pro Edition runs?
$35.
$35? What was that, Phil? Sorry.
$9.
$9. Actual retail value of Bassmasters Classic Pro Edition for the Super Nintendo, loose, on average, at the time of this recording, according to PriceCharting.com, is... Hold on one second while I look it up. $6. $6. The better version of this game is cheaper. I say that's totally worth it. And I am looking forward to adding it to my collection, but I am not looking forward to buying this by itself and paying almost the cost of the game and shipping. So it's probably going to be one of those where I just wait until it shows up locally.
Yeah.
As a collector, how do you feel about essentially buying two copies of the same game?
Par for course.
Yeah.
I bought NBA Jam. I have NBA Live a bunch of times.
Okay.
I have Madden a bunch of times.
If you're buying them in bulk, then you're probably getting a lot of sports games, a lot of duplicate sports games.
I have a lot of boxed sports SNES games because you know why? No one fucking wants them.
You should tape them to Henry's wall.
That's true. That's true. You better not touch my collection, though. For real.
Silly daddy. He doesn't play with his games. I'll just take them out for him.
Let's see. some people speedrun this game. Not many, but some people do. I don't know how they do it. I wish I could, and not to say that it's a bad game, but I just don't know like how much you can shave off of a timed tournament run.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're just like weighing the fish in early. Like if they're like, okay, I got to this amount, let's fucking weigh in, roll the dice. I
Yeah.
also don't know if they need to finish in first place or how it works.
I do know that at the end, the very last lake, Sydney Lake, there is a secret spot where a 35-pound fish is always there that you can find and catch. So if all of the lakes have spots where there are large fish, then you could conceivably go to that spot, catch a couple of big fish, go back to the dock, and then, fast speed up time until time to weigh in.
I gotcha. Okay, well that might explain how, I don't know, this might be how they do it, but it's like, I need to watch one of these videos. I didn't have the time to do it, but it's like, first place for the amateur run of Bassmasters Classic Pro Edition is 2 hours, 21 minutes, 21 seconds. Like that is less time than it took me to complete the first tournament. Also, it's important to mention, we didn't mention this, but like in Bassmasters Classic Pro Edition, you can play as pro fisher people, anglers.
Oh, real people.
None of which are named Hank.
Yes, none of them are named Hank.
There's a Gary, a George, a Kevin, a Tom, a Shane, and a D. But no Hanks.
No Hanks. No Hanks allowed. Hanks have to stay in the bait shop.
You know that Shane is dirty.
Which the bait shop, by the way, totally looks like a place you're going to get murdered. Yeah. It does not look like the official bait shop of any tournament, like whatsoever. Unless it's
like where they stop to get snacks in the cabin in the woods on the way to the cabin.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
Yes. The only tournament it's involved in is how many people can I kill and put onto the floorboards tournament. I do think
some people speedrun that.
Yes. I do think that this would be fun to play in an actual tournament style where it's like you and a group of people get together and you go for the highest totals in 3 days, and you don't really care about the NPCs fishing. You just kind of use your own scores amongst yourselves.
The way you said that reminded me of, I saw a demo for it a long time ago, and it was like a survival horror game that was hitchhiker themed. You were a hitchhiker and you had to flag down a ride, get in the car with them, and judge based on, you could ask them questions and their reactions and what they did to know if you needed to bail out of the car or not before they murdered you. So to see if you could judge correctly and make it to your destination, or they would murder you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
When you said that, I thought that the game put you in the role of the murderer, and you had to judge whether you were going to kill these people who picked you up or not.
Press B to fight your inner demons.
I missed the quick time event.
Ah, shit. Now I guess the car's going to crash.
Womp womp.
No, but I've nominated this game, not Serial Killer Simulator, but Bassmasters Classic for the SNES Game of the Month a few times, and if it does win, we could absolutely post cumulative scores and rank people. So
it's got
one
my
day.
vote, but it's just going to be you and me, Phil.
I know. Just like with our Kirby's Dream Course, where I think 2 people sent in submissions, 2 or 3.
Yeah, I tried, and I know Zalnop finished it, and then like I said earlier, I got to like course 4 and was like, no, I can't. I can't.
I didn't play. I was playing Hades.
I get it. I totally get it. The name of the fish that Doug was trying to catch, Chester.
Chesterfish.
Chester. Did I look it up? Yeah. Also, Phil, are you guys scoping out like rainforest cafes that are closing? Because like you could probably really get that jungle room going, man.
I'm unfamiliar with a rainforest cafe.
Oh. Like a rainforest cafe is, I guess, a thing just around here.
I've seen them in like Florida and stuff.
Chain restaurant worldwide. Yeah, they have not made their way to Oregon.
Okay.
And they won't.
Yeah, but if they do...
Overpriced, not good food in a very over-embellished setting.
Yes, but they do have like life-sized animal, like jungle animal replicas that you could probably get.
It's like the showbiz characters, but actual animals. And the one you want to see is always broken.
The government says it's illegal for us to own these animals, so we made our own. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
And Phil.
Yes,
I do not feel like I'm properly equipped.
You don't feel like you're properly equipped for any of this upcoming stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. Well, look,
let's discuss it as a group.
Okay, all right, we'll get through this. My first question is, do either of these games belong on TADPOG's top 100 Super Nintendo games?
I mean, there are a lot of fishing games, so apparently there's a niche for them.
Yeah.
So I could see where one should probably make it on the list,
and
if it was a big enough thing.
That's kind of where I am too. I liked this game. I don't think it's a must play. I think it's very much like you're either gonna love it or you're either gonna like it or you're gonna hate it. I don't want to go too far.
You're either gonna accept it or you're gonna hate it.
Right. But yeah, I'm with you. There's no other fishing game. Like, if there's no other fishing game on the top 100, then yeah, so far, yeah, this one's on there for me.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about this genre as I do when we were doing the first person dungeon crawlers, which there were no entries on the top 100. So the best one of the genre can make it in there. I think Bassin's Black Bass is a better fishing game than this, so I'm reserving my top 100 spot for that game. But this is if you wanted this in your top 100, I'd be fine with it. I think it's an above average Super Nintendo game.
I'm ready to get to Bassin's Black Bass.
Yeah, that's what SNES Drunk also said was the best one.
Because I haven't played that one.
I hate to tell you this late in the podcast, but the fishing game you remember me telling you about and guiding you through was Bassin's Black Bass and not this one.
Was it really?
It was, yeah.
Then I don't know when I've played Bassmasters Classic before, because I have absolutely played this game before.
Really? I don't know.
Yeah. I guess I just did it on a whim on my own time when I was drunk, which is absolutely possible.
Just like every now and then when you want to play a baseball game.
It is true.
Fish.
It is true. Every now and then I absolutely want to play a baseball game. It's rare. It's like once a year kind of thing. But yeah, maybe it's because, Phil, you've talked bass fishing games up so much that I was just like, I guess I'm going to try. Which one did Phil like? Probably this one. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
Thank you for doing this show.
You're welcome. Thank you for doing this show.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Phil, thank you for doing this show.
Thank you for inviting me on the show.
Tyler.
Good night, John Boy.
Tyler, if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
The only beard I can think of is my professional, the only guy I know, my Facebook friend Brendan Hunter, who is a professional fisherman. He's got a beard.
A little irony in the name, isn't there?
Yeah. Brendan Fish Hunter.
Does he drink cold raw eggs?
Obviously, it's the only way you get good. I'm guessing it said beer at one point in time, and they're just like, what else would they drink? Eggs, like Rocky. Okay,
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep. Nintendo America was like, substitute one poison for another. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of glasses would it be?
A fused together pair of glasses that is one of your frames and then one of Phil's frames.
Oh, God.
Welded together into a loving fish catching pair of glasses.
Joined by a fish emblem at the bridge.
Perfect. Poseidon's trident in the middle.
I love it.
Hello, nephews.
Ahoy! Like, Poseidon seems like the guy who would totally be the comic relief in a stealth game or something, you know?
Yeah.
Would you guys like to know what Flopsy, a.k.a. the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Master Mold Mike, has to say about these games?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Good, because I spent a long time saying the name of it. Bassmasters Classic, they gave 2.5 stars. And Bassmasters
Pretty
Classic
good.
Pro Edition, That's an average one.
Mhm.
Yeah. Bassmasters Classic Pro Edition, they gave 3.5 stars.
Is that one of the highest ones we've come across yet? 3.5 stars.
It might be actually. Yeah. Although I want everyone to remember, because it's on the same spread, that the same book gave Batman Forever 2.5 stars. So
this is better than
this is better than Batman Forever.
I struggled for an hour and got nowhere off the dock
Yeah.
and was miserable, and this is better
It's
than Batman
still better
Forever.
than Batman Forever. Batman Forever is an unplayable fucking abomination.
Yep. You're welcome, Cape Podcasters.
I have some more questions for you guys.
Yes.
If you're down.
Yes.
Y'all down to be quizzed, to be tasked with a quiz from our very own Ross Rachel Green from across the pond. This quiz is entitled
Not a good week for the Ross, the Taylor Greens of the world.
No. The title of this quiz is very, very, very close to Phil's achievement. Ass to Bass.
See, I thought it was low hanging fruit. I'm surprised it wasn't submitted.
Ross begins. As you know, you never go ass to bass.
It's the other way around.
Yeah, you never go bass to ass. Good point, Phil. It's against the Bible.
Yeah, it's true.
Only on Fridays.
The Pope legalized it.
What'd you give up for Lent? Putting fish in my ass? Is that good enough for you, Pope? Now how am I going to come?
Is that what Catholics do, right? That's how they abstain?
I'm sorry, Father. How do I complete? I didn't mean to be vulgar. Ross continues, for those playing from home, 2 has a double O to make this a 10-question quiz.
Okay, all right.
Today, lockdown ended and it was back to work in the office. There were no masks, social distancing, and everyone was somewhat happy to be back. I can't say those last few weeks flew by, but it's nice to just be out of the house for a few hours. My new OST vinyl arrived, the Doom remake soundtrack. That makes 3 for the collection. I should really do something with them. I know the feeling. I just pledged to a Kickstarter for a Morkborg vinyl album. Do I own a record player? I do not. Does it include a adventure on the vinyl cover? It does. So that is why I bought it.
Yep.
Ross, did the Doom remake soundtrack have a Morkborg adventure printed on the cover? Ross says, anyway, on with the quiz. First question. This A is an isometric air fighting game that looks fairly similar to the Desert Strike games, but in an airplane. Is that Aero Strike?
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
It is ASP, Air Strike Patrol.
I've
Right.
never heard of that.
No. Next question. This S is a sports game played with colored balls. And yes, he did spell colored with a U. So we know he's not faking. Colored balls. And the title refers to a specific part of the playing surface.
What's the first letter?
It's S. Yeah. This S is a sports game played with colored balls. And the title refers to a specific part of the playing surface. Colored balls, is that pool or billiards?
Side pocket.
What is it? Side pocket.
Very nice.
Good
Phil.
job, Phil. Locking it in. Side pocket it is.
Damn.
Well done.
It's like super dodgeball.
Next question. This S sees the evil Captain Lucius Khan capture an island, forcing the locals to become his slaves and mine gems. Lucius Khan captures an island, forces the locals to become his slaves and mine gems.
What's the first letter?
S.
Super gem miner.
Super slave owners. not very popular.
Slavery simulator.
Ugh. Blood diamonds. The Lucius Khan story.
Oh shit. Man, I have no clue. Super pirates?
Super pirates.
Phil, anything?
Sid Meier's Pirates?
Sid Meier's Pirates?
That's not a Super Nintendo game, I don't believe. Yeah, Phil?
I've never heard of this game.
Super Pirates, locking it
Sid
in.
Meier's Pirates. That's better.
I really don't think that came out on the Super Nintendo. It is Skulljagger or Skulljagger, Revolt of the Westikins.
Never, God.
Next question. This T sees members of the Doomsday Squad in a last-ditch effort to overthrow dictator General Akboob.
Start with a what now?
A T.
A T.
General Akboob.
General Akboob. Members of a Doomsday Squad. Proper noun. Doomsday Squad. In a last-ditch effort to overthrow dictator General Akboob.
Tomb Blasters.
Tomb Blasters. Not to be confused with Womb Blasters.
Womb Blasters, totally different.
The hentai game.
My mind is stuck on time something, but I don't know. I've never heard of General Akboob.
Time Squad, locking it in. It is Total Carnage. Not to be
Close.
confused with Maximum Carnage.
Wow.
Did you like Total Carnage? Would you like more of it? Would you like the maximum amount of carnage?
Find out how much carnage would kill me and then back it off just a little bit.
Total chaos.
Cloudy, rainy with drizzles, total chaos.
So I'm looking up Total Carnage right now. This is Smash TV. It's essentially a Smash
Oh.
TV. It does
Okay.
have a disembodied Hitler head that you have to fight, so there's that.
All right. I am actually kind of looking forward to that because it's
Yeah,
been a
this
minute
game
since I played
kinda looks
Smash TV.
I haven't
badass.
killed Hitler in a while.
Yeah. Next question. This O is a multiplayer World War II combat strategy game, and despite its name, was not released in Europe.
So it's Operation something, I assume.
Operation Europe.
Europe's very own World War II simulator. Nowhere else but Europe, World War II simulator.
It does start with O, so just throw an oops in front of it.
Oh, they crossed the Maginot Line. The World War II simulator.
I know there's Pacific Theater of Operations, PTO, so Operations of Pacific Theater. Let's go with that. don't know.
OTP.
But it says despite its name was not released in Europe. So I think Europe's in the name.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I was not listening or paying attention to that part.
Operation Europe. That sounds pretty good.
Operation Europe. Probably wrong. Locking it in. We're not going to get it, I guess is the point. Locking it in. It is Operation Europe, Path to Victory.
I
Count
get
it. Next question. This Super O was licensed by Ivan Iron Man Stewart for many ports, though not for the SNES.
Oh, it's a Super Off-Road. I love this game.
Oh, Super Off-Road.
Two clutch ones, Phil.
Locking it in. It is Off-Road, Super. There we go.
Damn.
Good job, Phil.
You should do a video game podcast.
Yeah, man. Next question. This B is named after a 1955 animated short of the same name, which sees you at the mercy of an antagonistic animator.
Bonkers.
Totally nuts. It was that a 1955 animated short?
I don't know.
It's probably Bugs Bunny.
It's Bugs and
yeah,
Daffy.
yeah.
Wasn't there a Daffy cartoon where the animator is constantly
Draws him as a flower.
Yep.
And,
and then it turns out that the animator is Bugs Bunny.
Yep.
So, but it starts with a B, so it's Bugs.
Bugs Bunny, dickhead friend.
But you're right. It's definitely Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny. Animation Studio 2.
Drawn Madness? I don't know.
There's
I don't know. Phil, guesses on what follows Bugs Bunny?
Something about Daffy.
Bugs Bunny, something about
There's
Daffy,
something about
locking it
Daffy.
in. It's kind of like something about Mary, but Bugs definitely puts Daffy's cum in his hair. It is Bugs Bunny, Rabbit Rampage.
half credit.
Yeah, half credit. How great would it be if they remade the game Rampage, but instead of playing 4 monsters, you play as 4 Looney Tunes characters? It's exactly the same game. They just ROM hack in Bugs Bunny.
I want so many games like that.
Yeah. Give me the entire Looney Tunes cast for the fishing game, and it makes it so much better.
Fuck yeah. Dude, ROM hack Ernest P. Whirl in there, man, and I'm on it like a motherfucker.
Picks up the bass. Ew.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Next question.
This is how you catch a bass, Vern.
Then he knocks Vern out of the boat with an oar. Vern, like the camera of the lure, and like the lure cam is actually Vern's POV as he sinks to the bottom of the lake. Which reminds me,
Flashing Vern cam.
I also want a version of this game where it's like, it's just a regular fishing game. It's this game. You're just fishing, you're fishing. And then you're trying to get the biggest bass in the fucking lake. So you send your lure all the way down to the bottom. And what's this? What did it catch on? Is that a fucking toenail? And then you reel up a body and you find out that this is where the mafia dumps all their bodies. And now all of a sudden you're in a fucking noir
Phoenix
murder
Wright.
mystery. You're right, exactly. You got to go to the bait shop. He's the judge. The bait shop guy's the judge. You got to present your case in a specific order. You got to find 15 toes.
Miles Edgeworth is trying to convince you that you're the murderer.
And Miles Edgeworth is like a fucking porn star's name, and I'm sick of people not talking about it.
His new Steam name, Miles Edgeworth, but it's a dick thing.
But it involves completing. Next question. This A stars the son of a family searching the house for hidden objects. Is that Adam's Family, Pugsley Scavenger Hunt,
Yes.
the?
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Locking it in. It is Adam's Family, the Pugsley. Oh, the Pugsley. Pugsley Scavenger Hunt. We don't talk about the Pugsley.
Please, mother, I'm the Pugsley now.
Next question. This S, though named after a popular Disney film, was actually based on a Filmation movie. All right, going through popular Disney films in my head that start with S.
S.
The Lion King. The Little Mermaid. Ooh, that one. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a very different movie.
Yikes. New Steve name, The Little Mermaid.
The Little Slur Maid is also
Little Slur Maid.
Song of the South.
No.
Starts with an
Funimation
S.
did it first.
Filmation. I don't know who that is, so it's not going to help. But please, God, tell me there wasn't a Song of the South Super Nintendo game. I feel like we knew better by 1995.
Oh man.
Bambi,
Bambi, Dumbo.
the Slungle Book,
The Slungle Book.
Slamby.
Also very different.
Should we be thinking of after-school cartoons and not movies?
Slailspin.
Okay.
I don't
Nailed it.
know. He said he did say it's a popular Disney film.
Oh,
We're-
you're right.
We're also doing animated films.
Yes,
Maybe
Mary Poppins. Smed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Smeg knobs. Oh God. We're not gonna get this.
No.
There's no way. What are other popular Disney films? I feel like we can get there. We just keep pushing.
Oliver and Company, Sloliver and
Sloliver and Company.
The Sword and the
Spongeback.
Stone?
Sword in the Stone.
Sword in the Stone. Did
Nice.
that have a game?
I'm pretty sure no. But
Damn it.
that's the closest we've gotten.
Damn it.
The Spage Master.
Speaking of Sword in the Stone, wouldn't it be great if you caught Arthur in Bassmaster's Classic in fish form. And then Merlin pops out of the water like fucking Gandalf and blasts you off the boat.
You catch the sword, reel it in, and suddenly it's an economic government simulator where you're
Right.
running England.
Oh, fuck, Hank's king.
No one told me the Lady of the Lake was in Pebble Lake. Shit.
This S, though named after a popular Disney film, was actually based on a Filmation movie. So the Disney film was based on a Filmation movie.
I don't even know what Filmation is. Is that a company that made animation movies? Animated movies?
I don't know. Sid Meier's Pirates.
Lock it in.
Locking it in. It is Snow White. Happily ever after.
Okay.
Jesus.
That's fair.
Christ. That's a game?
Yeah, get ready for it.
Is that real? Is that a real one?
Probably.
I don't want
gotta
to
look it
cheat,
up.
but I want to consult Flopsy on this because it's like, what the fuck do you do in a Snow White? Are you the huntsman?
You eat an apple and you wait.
Right?
It's
Yeah,
set.
right.
Okay.
Are you the dwarves? Is it like Lost Vikings?
It's a platformer. I'm looking
Oh.
it up.
Like Lost
It's
Vikings, only there are 7 of you with different skills. It's really crazy.
It's fucking nuts. It's kind of like Lemmings.
It looks very similar to Wizard of Oz.
Oh boy. All right. Sweet. I'm not going to tell you how many stars Flopsy gave it. Next question. Wow, I had no idea that game existed. Was that a Capcom joint? Because they had the rights for a long
Oh, well.
time. All right. We'll save it for that episode. Whenever we use our nuke turnkeys, I'm going to Snow White.
Snow White.
Next question. Last question. This S is a game where the player navigates bizarre levels full of balloons, telephones, cheese, and other strange elements.
What does it start with?
S, where the player navigates bizarre levels full of balloons, telephones, cheese, and other strange elements.
Shit. No clue. No clue what it could be whatsoever.
Super Simon's Quest.
Yes.
You got to get Dracula's balloons, his telephones, and his cheese, combine them together. Talk to the
Resurrect
graveyard.
Bachelor Dracula.
Talk to the graveyard duck. Yeah, and resurrect Bachelor Dracula.
Bachelor.
Scott Bachelor.
Scott Bachelor.
I'm sorry. Goodbye. They vanish in the smoke and will never be seen again.
Is it? No. It's a
Yes?
super something. Did they make a... Because when I think cheese, I think mouse. Is there a super rescue
Super
Rangers?
Family Matters. Sorry. Is there a what, Phil? I had to get a Family Matters joke in there.
Super
real
That's
bad.
okay.
Mousetrap.
Is there? I was wondering if there's a Super Rescue Rangers, but they only made Rescue Rangers for the Nintendo.
Yeah, Rescue Rangers 1 and 2, I think.
And because it sounds like shit you see in Wacky Land, is there another Tiny Toons game?
There's Wacky Sports, I think, or Sports in Wacky Land.
Sports
Maybe
in
it's
Wacky
Sports in
Land?
Wacky Land.
All right.
I like that.
Try it.
Logging it in.
Give it a go.
I don't know. It is fucking Super Alfred Chicken. A game we mention all the time and have never played.
Yep.
That's it. Thanks, Ross. That was
All
an
right.
awesome quiz.
Phil, you had the most correct clutch answers there.
You did.
Well, I'm ready to grab that batter up peripheral.
Yeah,
Mm.
boy,
I wanna know
grab
what's
it.
up.
Fucking
So I
grab
get a
it.
feeling it's going to be a game we've mentioned this episode. Just
Why?
got that feeling. I don't know. Got that feeling.
Snow White.
Snow White.
Because I'm going to make it Snow White. I'm going to lie to everybody. 486. Snow White.
Especially if you're like 3.
3. Yeah.
Snow White. I'm going to grab that batter up peripheral,
Please.
put one end
Please.
on the ground, my head on the other end,
Mhm.
so I can turn the circle to point my no-no hole in a random direction.
Fuck yeah, BB.
Say that prayer we all love to say.
Yep.
Do it.
Beetu pootu beetu pootu beetu pootu beetu pootu boop boop boop. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop.
I forgot to pray. I was so busy like scrolling, doing the thing. 185.
Alfred Chicken, Super.
Fuck, I wish. It's in the F's.
Fargo.
It is Final Fantasy II. Would you like to do a Final Fantasy II ROM hack episode?
Ooh.
There is a popular one. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be time intensive,
Yeah.
but there is a popular one called, I think it's called Free Enterprise. I think it's where you get the airship at the very beginning of the game, and it's kind of like a randomized scavenger hunt kind of deal. Or we could do
about the after years.
The after years, which is going to be tough for me. You've completed them. I have not.
Yeah. They're not very long. I'm sure you could in a week.
How many are there?
I mean, I remember doing it like I sat down and maybe 1 or 2 hours per chapter that came out.
That's not bad. How many chapters were there? 48?
I don't recall. 48 chapters. Like 7 maybe.
What did it release on? That's another problem.
I got it on the Wii.
Fuck.
But I know it's been
Can't
on way
buy
more.
anything
It's
on the
been
Wii
way
anymore.
more platforms.
I wonder if it's on Steam. You want to do something regardless, Final Fantasy II related?
Yes.
Whether it be ROM hacks or the after years, the college years, anything?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Sweet.
100%.
You want to see? I don't know if it's possible. I don't know what his schedule's like. Let's see if we can get maybe hashtag more Miller.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if he's available.
Yeah.
But I mean, he seems like we would get him back on for Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll message him.
All right.
Hell
Cool.
yeah. That was pretty good. I feel a lot better.
Unfortunately,
Does that pretty good to you, Phil? Are you excited about that?
No. I'm excited for more Miller. I've never really played much Final Fantasy 2, so I don't have any connection to it. So
you didn't enjoy our very boring two-part episode on Final Fantasy 2 where we gave a
bad walkthrough,
a shitty walkthrough,
an incorrect out of order. We remembered halfway through walkthrough.
Yeah, instead of a game fact, it was a game slack. You're welcome. He disappears into smoke again.
Yeah, if I called it Final Fantasy 4, would that make you more excited, Phil?
A little bit, tiny bit.
All right, that's all I got. Everything good?
Yeah, that's all.
Let's keep going.
That's all I got.
Thanks for coming on, Phil. As always.
Yeah.
For any listeners who are concerned about no Dave reads from Wikipedia, it's literally like 3 sentences. There's nothing. You're fine.
Yeah, I wasn't sweating it. I'm sure the listener definitely was though.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, Spotify.
Thanks, Dane.
And our website.
TADPOG.com.
Yeah, hell yeah. If you like this show and you have Facebook, you can find TADPOG, episode announcements and memes. If you're a fan of the show, you like that more dank stuff, TADPOG Nation. Do you like nice, orderly chat? We got a Discord for that.
We do.
What is it, Discord?
bit.ly/TADPOG Discord.
Yeah. We're TADPOG_podcast on both Twitter and Instagram. You want a shirt? We got plenty of shirts. Shirts.tadpog.com. You want a mask? We got plenty of masks. Mask.tadpog.com. What else do we do? I think that's about it. But most importantly,
go for it.
Got that Patreon.
Patreon.
Let me pull it up real quick.
I stream on Twitch. I've been doing Fridays and Sundays. Twitch.tv/TADPOG_podcast. I like it. It's fun.
It's good. It's very good.
If you want to come
you do a good stream.
Thank you. I try really hard to make it entertaining.
Okay, so I remember I talked about Rick Fox thrown in last week.
Yeah.
A name I haven't heard in some time. Up there, pledge. Christian Bard. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I still have some Piggy Palace shit to mail you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I have so much shit to mail out. So much shit to mail out. I'm going to have to take a day off for work to go mail a bunch of shit off.
And it might not even get there.
Yeah, you're right. I think Christian's in Canada, so yeah.
Oh yeah, that's rough, man.
You'll get it by the time I do the next entry of the Call of Cthulhu game.
I got it. Like seriously, like because I've been mailing like video game consoles to be modded, and those modded consoles have been sent back to me all through USPS. It's just like fuck, man. Like I ordered the NES RGB mod board, everything that's needed to mod the NES for RGB. And that stopped tracking in the middle of nowhere. And it's like, fuck, this is
heartbreaking.
It's not like a crazy expensive purchase, but I mean, it's like one that I definitely don't want to fucking lose.
You feel it, yeah. Ugh. And then new pledge. I've heard the name before, but new pledge from Bongo Yoda.
All right.
Thank you, Bongo Yoda.
That's Ross Kelly, yeah?
I
think
all
so.
Right.
Please confirm, Bongo Yoda.
Ross I gave his brother all my good RPGs fame.
Oh, okay. And then I don't know if we mentioned him last episode or not, but I've got Carson Clark as well as a new donor.
Works for me.
All right. So if we got you twice, pew, 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 there you go. Thanks for donating, y'all.
Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive. Link to that track found on the charts at TADPOG.com.
And this episode was executive produced by the following people. Usurper Grimm, God Emperor Alex Pena, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Cousin David Galino, Coronavirus Savior, Cubicle Monkey, Zeus Laser, Steve Dixon, Clambro, Cody Phillips, Lent Liquor, Joseph Phillips, Bantha Master, The Eightfold Daniel Abernathy, Plinko Nick Price, Time Lord Josh Edwards, Executive Producer Dig Duggy, Matt Gentile, aka Gentle G, Magical Sleeper, aka Big Dick Pie Baker Chris Vaughn, Laud Mulaney Dennis, Pinball Archmage Chris Edler, congratulations on your marriage, and I'm sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Drinksmith Joey Webster, Big Daddy Paul Anderson, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, and Captain Detective Count Victor von Cunnilingus Hart. Thank you guys.
How you guys want to close this out?
As Hank, the serial killer bait shop owner.
Fucking perfect.
So until next time, tropical Capricorn.
Thank you for noticing.
Hank, no.
I assume he said yes.
Phil said yes.
We lost you for a second there, Phil.
Well, I'm recording on my end, so you'll hear that in post. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Seamless.
It's gonna be
When you say yes, I think he said yes.
Right? Yeah. Trust me, it is always a delight to edit an episode with a remote cast. And by delight, I mean a 4-hour experience.
I love you, Dave. Thank you for doing this for me.
Phil, I love you too, man. Thank you for being on.
You know what I'm really enjoying is that normally I don't listen to the episodes that I'm on because I was just on them.
Uh-huh.
But we're getting enough instances where you're not hearing me and I'm not hearing you that I genuinely want to hear this episode to find out what it sounds like all spaced together. Because I am talking and I am answering questions, and there are times where I have made comments and you guys haven't responded to me because you haven't said anything.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun.
This is actually par for course. This happens all the time. What I do is just cut everything the guest says.
It reminds me of doing GoldenEye, and Blake is on, and we call Phil of Second Breakfast. Blake doesn't realize Phil can't hear him, and he's talking shit to him, and Phil is just going over, and Blake's like, "The fuck, man?" Oh yeah, that was just a one-way call. Sorry about that, Blake.
Yeah, this actually, Phil. I'm glad that you said that you haven't listened to the episodes that you've been on, because this does happen every time. And it is very much like, oh shit, we can't hear Phil, or Phil can't hear us. So I have to decide what to cut. So I usually just make a decision on what to keep in.
Which is funnier. All right.
No, it's like who continues the conversation, and
Right.
it's you and me because we're in the same fucking room.
Yeah, well, that's true.
That's fine. I think it'll be fine. And then truncate silence will cut out anything else.
Cut out the gap. Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
be fine. It'll be fine.
Fuck it. Do it live.
Fuck it. Well, yeah, we're
The
gonna
episode,
do it
the
live.
whole thing is just Phil going, "Hey guys," and you don't hear him for the rest of the episode.